File. In this June 21, 2016 file photo, Coastal Carolina's Matt Baird puts down a sacrifice bunt during the third inning of an NCAA College World Series baseball game against TCU in Omaha. Neb. Run at your own risk against Baird. Coastal Carolina's senior catcher has thrown out 22 of 32 would-be base stealers. That's 69%. Now consider the Major League caught stealing rate is 27%. Natty Harnack. File. For Associated Press. Run at your own risk against Matt Baird. Coastal Carolina's senior catcher has thrown out 22 of 32 would-be base stealers. That's nailing runners at a clip of 69%. In the majors, the rate is just under 28%. It's part of doing my job, Baird said Monday. If a guy steals, I should throw him out. That's as simple as it gets. Simple, hardly. If your catcher is above 30%, you're pretty happy with it, said Chanticleer's associate head coach Kevin Schnall, who works with the catchers. Matt's success this year, I'd say it's probably the single most unbelievable I've ever seen from a catcher behind the plate. Stanford's Maverick Handley and Baylor's Shea Langeliers are the only other Division I catchers over 60%, and just 3 others are at 50% or better, according to research by Coastal Carolina publicist Mike Kaywood. Baird also has picked off 3 runners at first base and 3 at second. Coastal Carolina 36-16, which failed to make last year's NCAA tournament after winning the national championship in 2016, has clinched the Sun Belt Conference regular season title and is in position to host a regional. Schnall said Baird's defensive work is not to be underestimated when looking for reasons for the resurgence. I would have to assume every team we're playing, they're spending some time in a scouting report meeting discussing Matt and what he's done and what he's capable of doing, Schnall said. Baird gives credit to his pitches for their tempo to the plate and timing of their pickoff moves and to infielders Corey Wood, Keaton Vites and Seth Lancaster for occasionally ing balls out of the dirt to put on tags. They've made some good plays for me, he said. Baird always has had a strong arm, and his pop time, the time between the ball arriving in his glove and reaching the man covering second base, has improved to a major league range of 1.9 to 2.0 seconds. Baird tweaked his throwing program last fall to include the pitcher's tunnel drills to improve his accuracy. Previously, Schnall said, Baird's right arm would get away from his body, causing the ball to fade a bit right. The new drills fixed that. His release point is just a lot more consistent and you can see he's getting a truer carry on his ball, Schnall said. He's thrown well the last couple years, just not this well. In the polls, Florida, Oregon State and Stanford are the consensus top 3 teams in the major polls. The defending national champion Gators 41-12 won 2 of 3 over Georgia to clinch at least a share of the Southeastern Conference regular season title for the 2nd straight year and the 5th time in 11 years under coach Kevin O'Sullivan. Oregon State, the 1st of August 38, moved up to number 2 after taking 2 of 3 against Stanford. The Cardinals 39-8 beat the Beavers 9-6 in 10 innings Sunday to avoid getting swept for the first time this slug'em. Cowboy Oklahoma State homered 7 times in an 11-6 win at Baylor on Saturday. It was the most for the Cowboys since they connected 8 times against Kansas in 2006. Trevor Boone went deep, a school record tying 3 times. The Big 12 leading Cowboys had 11 homers while dropping 2 of 3 to the Bears. Watching Washington 25-21, 15-9. Pac-12 enhanced its position for a spot in the NCAA tournament with wins in 2 of 3 against nationally ranked UCLA. The Huskies won 4-3 in the 11th Sunday on Joe Wainhouse's 450-foot walk-off homer into Lake Washington. Right up there as one of my biggest baseball moments ever, he said. Washington is up to number 66 in the RPI and has a chance to raise that number with league-leading Stanford visiting in 2 weeks. Slimmest of margins, Clemson won its nation-leading and school-record 14th one-run game Sunday when Grayson Bird led off the 11th inning with a walk-off homer to beat Austin Pay 3-2. San Diego State has 13 one-run wins on that losing streak as far as the NCAA knows. St. Peter's 78-game losing streak was a Division I record. The Peacocks' misery ended Sunday with a 7-1 victory over Iona. The NCAA doesn't formally track baseball losing streaks. Jeff Williams, Associate Director of Media Coordination and Statistics, said the longest one he found in his research was Coppin State's 55-game skid from 2006 to 2008. Copyright 2018 The Associated Press. All rights reserved. This material may not be published, broadcast, rewritten or redistributed.